Hi everyone, this is Sandy. Welcome back to my channel and part 2 of my junk journaling, a journey into junk journaling. For those of you who've never done it before, we're going to take it nice and slow and create our journal and then add in fun decorative items and things that you may find around the house or that you can print up on your own and just have a good time creating it and making it personally yours. So today's tutorial is mostly just getting the cover made and adding the pages, putting our pages in and binding them. This is a no-sew binding method. You are going to need your hole punch, which I have the crocodile here, and you're going to need your choice of seam binding ribbon in a color that you want to use. You know, there's so many different colors. I haven't quite decided yet. There's a gray, there's a brown. So these are some really pretty colors, vintagey colors. We have our tea dye paper that we did in part 1. We have 2 file folders. That's how we're going to make this junk journal today. I have an envelope here that I may use. This is a vintage type envelope with some stuff that's I've added on. I've been cleaning old files and I found a distressed looking paper clip. In some video we're going to do some distressing of safety pins and paper clips and things like that, see how they turn out. So that'll be a whole separate thing that we will do because I like to add those into my junk journals. This is a key that was already on a tag that I purchased at the antique mall that we have here in my town, and it already had this string on it, so I'm just going to leave it just like that. It had the price tag on it, which was a sticker that they pulled off, and so I'm going to use that. And this is a book that I found there. I think I paid $5. I paid a bit more than normal because of its age. When was it printed? Let's see. I'm not sure. Got some nice pages in it. 1910 it says, and it's in a foreign language. I haven't tried to. Kind of looks like it might be German. I'm not positive. But I love that kind of script, so I can't read much of it, but it just looks really neat when you tear out these pages and use it. So when you're out thrift shopping or antique shopping, look for things that are different, or that have a little wear to them, aren't too terribly expensive. $5 isn't too bad because look how many inserts you can do for a junk journal, different ones. Also, you can tear one out and photocopy it and then kind of age the paper and everything and use it over and over. So I think that's a good buy. So this is something that I'll be using today. But first, let's concentrate on getting our cover done. So let's get ready to do that. So I put away all my little fun things, and I have the 2 manila letter size file folders, but we're going to cut these down. I have 2, and I've already measured and drawn out on this one because I was playing around and seeing the size that I thought that we would need. So I wanted to have that done ahead of time to share with you. And I'm doing this double thickness because the file folder is not really heavy. There's lots of things you can use to make your cover. You can take a composition book and tear out all the pages and use the assembled cover. Cut it down to size. You can use 2 pieces of chipboard. You can use some cardboard. You can use the backing of, cut out of a priority mailbox. You just need some cardboard or something to make your cover just a little bit sturdier than the paper or the pages that are going to go inside. So for this one, I'm going to take my art glitter glue, and I'm just going to put glue on the inside of one of these. Now, not necessarily here where the folds are. I'm just going to squeeze out some glue if I can. Been sitting here a couple of days, so I need to open this up some. And if you want to take your fine tip off, you could do that to get a little more glue coming out of this, but I think this will work. I'm just pretty much here in the center, not the whole thing, down to the short piece here along the inside, and then here along the edges. We're going to be putting these together, and then we'll be cutting them. So I'm putting some glue on here, And then we're going to sandwich these two file folders together to get a double thickness. So make sure you're lining it up so that the folds and the tabs, they're all matching, okay? And then take your hand and just press down. We're going to let that dry to make this a double thickness cover. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do if you're doing this on your own, because yours might not be the same size as mine, take your 8.5 by 11 copy paper that you tea dyed, and you're going to fold one in half. This is going to be the size of your page. Now, if you want yours sticking, you don't care if some of this sticks out, then you would make yours a little shorter. I'm going to make mine, I think, a little bit bigger than my paper. Now you see here on mine I have 4 little fold lines. So the center one, let's grab a pencil. The center one right here is pretty much where my paper is going to go. Now we're making this not several signatures, though we probably could. This is actually going to be like a single signature junk journal. That makes sense. Like I'm going to have one set of pages in it. So this is where on that line where that fold goes, and then I kind of eyeballed it and put it at, from here from the top, about 3/8 of an inch, and then from the bottom, and then also from the side. So that's how I got my measurements, which ended up being, if you're going to do this with a trimmer or something, 9 inches tall by 5 3/4 wide. Now, junk journaling, you do not have to be 100% precise. You don't even have to use a ruler if you don't want to. You can fold and eyeball, and that's, I've got my mat, and I'm going to take a ruler and my craft knife, good little edged ruler here, and a craft knife, and I'm just going to, I've already did my pencil mark, so that's kind of cheating, but I would just lay your ruler down or your paper, and you're going to cut through both thicknesses, just like that, okay? So down here at the bottom, I didn't go all the way, and I don't care. I'm just going to tear that off on the inside. Then I'm going to take it and cut the other side. Do the same thing here. Just kind of lining it up. And cut with my knife right along that ruler. Do a couple of passes if you doesn't feel like it came loose. There we go. And then down here, I'll just go ahead and, instead of tearing, just kind of slice that off. Okay, so there we have that. Now mine's off up here where I glued it together. So I'm going to straighten that out a little bit. Just going to trim off some of that where it's not double thickness, which will mean I'll drop it down on the bottom a little bit here. So just trim that. We're getting our cover ready. It's really easy. So now here across the bottom, we're going to cut. I'm going to just move it over from my line just a tiny bit where I trimmed it off. Kind of like 1/8 of an inch or so. There we go. And we trim this bottom piece off. Just kind of tattered there, so I'm just going to trim it just a little bit with my scissors. Okay. And that's that extra one. So there is the trim down. Now we're going to fold this kind of along that outer 2 fold lines. Because I didn't put glue in there, I do have kind of a gap, but I kind of want it more rounded, I guess you would say. So let's see if we can just kind of get a rounded look to that. I'll just fold right along that center line. Right there. Trying to make it work. So that's how it's going to be on the inside. See, there's our cover. So if we take this, these are going to be where our pages go. So I have extra room, top, bottom, side. So mine's not going to stick out. If you want your paper sticking out, then you would trim your cover smaller. So now I'm going to take my hole punch, and I'm going to use the bigger one. And I'm going to decide how far in I want this punch to go, because I'm going to use the same height. So this is as far as it goes back, and I'm going to leave it at that. So that's going to be my stop guide, and I'm going to put my punch on each side right on the center of that center fold line that I marked with a pencil. Put one there, and then we're going to turn it around on that fold line all the way to the stop and punch. So that you don't have to measure if you use that, but if you take your ruler and check it, you're going to be about 7/8 of an inch from the edge. Okay, so that's the cover. Now this is where your binding is going to come out with your ribbon or go in. Of course, this is going to be covered. I'm going to find some kind of lace or fabric or whatever I want to cover. This all we're going to be our decorating next week. We're just getting the pages made and put in our book and bind it in with our ribbon. So now let's take our pages. We don't need my mat anymore. Move that out of the way. So we're not going to use all of these pages. I would say maybe half. Let's see here. And they're all going to be folded in half. But then they get stacked on each other. Okay? But we're going to add in some other pages as well. So here we have 3, 4. I love how they crinkled up in the oven. And some of them actually tore a little bit, and that's great. I mean, you want it to be junky. You want it to be, oh, it's, what did I say, 4. 5. I like how that one's tea stain turned out. That's 5. This is not necessarily the order I'm going to put it in. Just looking at how thick they are, that's 5. 6. 7. And we're also going to be adding in some short pages. And 8. Let's go with 8. So 8 folded in half becomes 16 pages in your junk journal. But we are not done. We'll be adding some more. So let's see how this thickness looks. Okay, see, like that. So it's going to be a little thick, and that's okay because I just like the look of that. And so we're going to have lace and stuff that sticks out, like if I would take a piece of this lace that I found at the antique store, and you glue it on the edge. Isn't that pretty? And we can let that kind of like stick out if we want to. So there's going to be so much stuff that you'll want to do. And it's not something you have to sit down and finish all at once. You can play with this over the course of several weeks, days, weeks, whatever makes you happy, creating you a junk journal. And what is the purpose of a junk journal? It's to make you happy. It's to collect things, put pretty things together, vintage things, bright, colorful things, whatever you like. You can journal in it. You can take daily notes. You can write inspiring quotes. Excuse me. You can make it personally yours, something you can look at every day, and kind of like a little diary if you wanted it to be. So anyway, these are these pages now. So let's take a look. I have here a brown glassine bag that I like. Now this is going to be short. So, got allergies going on here. So we fold this. I think I'm going to fold it like this because I've got, this is going to make a pocket right there, and this one will not be. Now we can lay it in here and let the ribbon grab it like that on the center, or we can bind our pages and then insert it later if we wanted to, or however. I'm going to just drop it right there for now. So we got that one. This is a glassine bag that something came in, so now it's a little tattered and everything. It can make a fun pocket, or we can use it for a page insert as well. So I would again fold it in half, and it doesn't have to be exactly half, just, you know, fold it up, and then let's find a place that we're going to stick it, like there, in among that. Now then, I have this music sheet here. I have two actually that I really like. Now, if you find music sheets that you really, really like and that you might want to use later on, go copy it. You can go to the office supply and copy it. Now, one this big, you're going to have to make your page go like this, where it's going to be not up and down. If that bothers you, then this is something you're going to have to cut out and glue onto your page. And I haven't quite decided yet. I kind of don't like my words and letterings going sideways. Does that make sense? Like, I prefer it going up and down the way it looks, and then I would just cut this out and, you know, glue it or glue it in, cut it down to fit. It's too small for a page, though you could do it that way. I may find something different that I like on that for some pages. Just looking. You can always add in some white, but I think that's too new for me. That's something you might want to do yourself. These little pages like this could glue on there. So I'm thinking, as far as main pages, for right now, that's going to be what I'm going to put in there. Unless I find something white. Now this is kind of cool. This was just something I found at a store. It's kind of tearing, so I might have to use some washi tape. But so I like how this looks. I'm trying to decide if I fold it this way. Let me see. I'm just going to tear it here where this fold is. It's going to tear there anyway. And I'm going to use that as a page. But I think I'm going to need to put some washi tape right there. So hang on just a second. Let me see what I've got. Okay, so I have this gold here. Now the reason we're going to put washi tape on that is because this is very fragile and it will tear. So I'm going to center this over it, over where the fold is. Whoops. Get it on straight. See there, that paper is pretty old and fragile. I need to do this straighter. About like that. And then I'm going to kind of extend it because where I punched the hole, so I'm using this metallic gold washi tape here. Fold this here because it already started splitting right there. I think maybe that'll work. You fold it in half. Let me turn it over. I think it's going to need it on the back side too. So I'm just going to line that up. Whoops. And put that tape right there. Okay, now then, when I punch my hole through there, that tape's going to make it a little stronger. So I'm going to fold it on the tape and try to make that work. Now, Here where it's splitting, I may have to, right here, I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Cut that down. And just save this little bit. Now, this is going to be a shorter page, so it probably won't have a hole punch through it. But it might. I'll put it down below. Okay. So, I'm going to wait on my music sheets because I'm going to add those in, I think, the right direction. And probably make a copy of that one. So now that we have our pages stacked up the way we want them, I'm going to put this one, I think, in the center here. And it's just going to have one punch in it. So let me grab some clips. We need some clips. Set this aside here. So I've got them all stacked up the way I want. So let me lift it up. So I'm pretty much just keeping the plain paper. So we have tea-dyed, tea-dyed, tea-dyed in the bag. Tea-dyed, tea-dyed, tea-dyed. I'm going to put a bag there. Tea-dye, tea-dyed, and then this here in the center. So we're going to punch our holes. So I'm going to take this short one here. And I'm going to make sure I'm make a crease here. Let me get my bone folder so that I can see it good. So I'm going to put these two together. And this one on the bottom down here because it's only going to catch one hole. So you put the fold crease on the fold crease. Line those up. I'm going to use my clip here. I'm going to kind of tap them down. Put my clip here to hold them in place. And up here at the top. So what I'm going to do is punch holes at the top and the bottom to match up with my cover. So I have not moved my stop. It's all the way to the back. To the back. I'm using the bigger hole and I'm going to punch right on the crease. Now push it in all the way so that it stops. Line up the hole over the crease. Punch right there. Turn it around and do the other side same way. Okay. So now we have a hole here and a hole here. So I'm going to go ahead and take my clips off so I can use it on my next set. I'm going to lay these upside down because that's the order they're going to be in. So now this bag is, I'm going to put it in at the top. Put my crease on my paper good. So I want to be able to see it. So I'm going to do two again. These two. Tap them good. I'm going to turn them around. I'm going to put this one here at the top. So I'm going to turn it upside down. Tap it. You can reverse them either way you want. Tap that. Line it up. Put a clip on both sides. At the top. Paper is a little bit shorter there. I'm going to pull it a little bit. There we go. Okay. So I'm just lining up the creases. And we'll do the same thing. We're going to punch here, right on that crease. You just want to make sure that you're using the placement the depth the same. So where I've got that set all the way in. Okay, so there's those. And this I'm going to leave at the top. I'm going to lay it this way. And we've got 1, 2. Now this one, I kind of want it in the center if I can, but you're not going to be able to punch a hole through it. So I'm going to go ahead and do 4 pages. I'm going to leave that bag where it's at. Actually, I'm going to take it out for now. I'm going to lay it in there when I do the ribbon. So I've got 4 pages. Put it here at the top. And then here at the bottom. Where did the clip go? There it is. Lost the clip. So now we're going to punch these. Okay, and here. Now then, we're going to undo these. And we're going to reclip them all together so that we can do our ribbon. But this one, I'm going to put this bag in the center. So you see it does not go in the holes, but that's okay. I'm just going to get it in that area. I'm going to bring these together. You can see the holes. And we're going to line all these up. I'm going to have to take the bag out. It's going to fall down. I'll put it in differently. You've got to have the holes all the way through so we can see where we're at. This is not lining up right. It's because I got some of them completely off. So see there, that one, I don't have it on the crease. So I'm going to refold it and it will make my pages off a little bit. But this is a junk journal, so that's going to be okay. It's not going to hurt that it's an inch or so off on one page. I just need to make sure my fold, my holes are on the fold. So that one must have slipped on me. So I guess I shouldn't do 4 at once. There's that one. And this one is a little bit off. I'm going to refold it. 2. It's going to make my pages a little off, but you're not going to really notice that much when it's in the book. Like I said, it's a junk journal. You can have different size pages in your book. But I want to make sure these creases, there we go, are where the holes are. Okay, so I want my holes on the crease. Okay, like that. Go ahead and line these all up. Those are okay. I'm going to clip it on this side so I can work with it and make sure they're lining up. So you're wanting the holes where you can see through each hole. So I kind of messed up on these a little bit, but it's going to work. Just want them lined up so that we can get the ribbon through there. Now, if you've seen junk journals with the stitching, the sewing, the hand needle in and out, and you want to do that, that's fine. I just decided on this one, I like ribbon personally, and that's what I want to use on mine. And also it's great for beginners. Maybe you don't want to sew. You have to poke the holes in and out. So this is just a really easy way, if you get your holes lined up better than I did, to do binding. So just line up that hole there. So probably it would be better, I've done it this way before, to maybe punch just one page at a time. And you could certainly do that. So this one's going to go here at the top, right here. Line that up. Okay, put that one in. And the next tea dyed. Okay. Because if we get the holes lined up, it just makes it a whole lot easier threading through. And this one. Okay. Somebody slipped. This one needs down just a little bit. There we go. So I can see all the way through to my table. And then we have this last one, which is going to go down here at the bottom, right over the hole. Okay, now we have that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to choose the ribbon. I think I want the lighter gold color. So I have about, see how much seam binding ribbon I have. That's 12, that's 24. 31, they're about 32 inches. So you could do a yard, 32 inches to 36 inches. So we're going to turn this over from the outside. It has more of the bend here. And I'm going to fold this so that I can thread this through from the outside like this. And then we're going to thread it through the other hole. Okay, so then we want to make sure they're coming through and they're flat. So if it's twisted a little bit, just go ahead and straighten that right there. And I need to twist this a little bit to get this in there a little straighter. Okay. This is going to be covered by paper or fabric or lace. So this ribbon on the outside of your book. Got it straight there. Then I want to pull this so I have equal amounts top and bottom. Okay, so we're going to do one end first. So I'm going to take a pokey tool. Got my pokey tool here. We're going to take this where we've got it clipped. Okay, so take the end of your ribbon, or about an inch or so of it. I maybe fold it up a little bit to give me something to work with to poke through. And yeah, this is the back side. So you kind of have to fiddle around and do this. So this is the back side here. We're going to poke through, and I know it's kind of hard to see in the camera, but I'm going to try to poke this through the hole all the way through. I've got them lined up pretty good so that I can grab it, see there on the other side, and then just pull that up. Okay, and so I'll do the other side the same way. And again, I'm going to have to take my ribbon and kind of, bunch it up a little bit into a knot, and then put it where the hole is on the back side. Take my pokey tool and just be careful that I don't poke myself. And then see where I can see the ribbon, and I just pull it. It's just really that easy. And then you pull it up. Now, the decision you're going to make is, do you want, and we just gotta make sure it's pulled straight up. and everything is lined up where it's supposed to be. So you kind of got the 3/8 on each side. Pulled it up good. I'm going to look at it on the outside. Make sure it's all flat. And what you're going to decide is, do you want to tie a bow in the middle, or are you going to cut it short? So at first, I'm going to tie a knot and then tie a bow. I'm just making sure my pages are where I want them to be. Okay. And I've got about the same amount, so I'm going to loop it here and pull it pretty snug. You don't want it too loose. So I'm going to push this side down a little bit. Push that over. Line them up, top and bottom about the same. And pull that right there. Pull it really taut, really tight as you can. You need someone to help you to hold it down, and I use my finger and then I tie a knot. Now this is where you can just cut it short. For now, until I'm done decorating, I'm just going to tie a bow like that, because I can undo that, and I can't undo the knot really, but I can undo my bow and decide if I want to, you know, just make it short. I'm just going to cut these even. Save that little bit, and then these can be unclipped. And of course, with the bow in there, it's not going to probably lay down quite right, but now you can flip your pages and your cover. There's the book. There's your pages. Now, yes, it pops up like that. We're going to make a tie around it. It's going to be probably some twine, like I have this piece of twine here. I'm going to probably wrap it around. After we do all our decorating, you know, you can just wrap it around like that and tie it. Make it really junky, junk journal junky, like very vintagey, like a package. So this would tie in a bow. That I'm not going to cut it short yet, but that's how it would look. You cut it down some. You could just tie it like that. It's going to look really cute when you get all your decorating and your pretty papers on there. I'm waiting. I can't wait to get the love letters in from Country Craft Creations, which is an exclusive paper, and then also the Simple Stories Vintage Weathered Garden. Now, I don't know if I'm going to put the two together or make two separate junk journals. I haven't decided that, because I am going to make another book and cover possibly in a few days or next week or something, to show you a different way of binding. Like this, like I said, this is going to have some fabric over it or something. I may go to a fabric shop once I get my pattern papers and see. But look, this was off an old dress, so it's got that lacy look. So it really needs to be more of a solid, but that could be added in there some. So we're going to put pattern paper on it, some layering, not just strictly the pattern paper, not like a regular album. We're going to do some layering on this, and then we'll put a covered fabric spine on it, and then we'll decorate on the inside. So now let's untie this, and let's put this brown glassine bag in. Should have laid it in there before I tied, but I think we'll be okay. See how we have that in the center, and where's that other one? There, we got that one at the top, which on the other side where it's at is a pocket. Where did it go? I know it's here somewhere. I love flipping through junk journals. There it is. So there's like, can be a pocket. We'll add stuff on that. So let's take this one. Now then, take the folded in, and you just kind of lift up and pull it through. Very simple. See that? There we have it added in now. We can crease it. Got it like that. Got this side. So you just, your short pieces that are not going to be in the holes, just lay it through there. So let's see. We have this page here. I'm not ready to decorate. These are going to be attaching on to the some of the pages. So we're not ready to decorate yet. I'm just going to look here before I close out for the day. What's in this envelope? I had kept this envelope. I love this paper clip that I found. So, you know, that's going to be part of something. And this envelope that says vintage, and it's got the washi tape holding some of this. So this is just an idea of some stamping. Someone sent this to me, so you can do that with any envelope, and you can tea dye, you know, spritz it with something. So this makes this really cool. So this can be folded like this. I'm thinking, love how that looks. And then find a couple of pages here, not where your bag is. Let's see, just slide this under like this, and then where this comes down, we can cut that if we want and make that. But I like the word vintage. Let's see here. I'm going to make it fold further over, burnish that out. I should have thought of that first. See how much we got left over here. Where did it go? I know it's in here. Right there. Oh, look, isn't that pretty? Oh, I love that. Now, the only thing is, do I like it that way or I want it the other way? I'm going to leave it like that. And then I can do more stamping on this, and I can cut here and make this a pocket. So you see how you can go through and add other stuff. This isn't a letter. I think I'm going to make copies of this. So this could have gone in as a page. So I may do that in my other journal. So in this little envelope, I had a lot of little different things. So I think I'm going to copy this so that I can use it more than once. So this is a tag made out of just scraps of a magazine. So this gives you some kind of idea. I'm just showing you now. I'm not going to do any decorating today, though I want to, but I want to wait for my papers to come in. But this is just some stuff that I've been collecting. I've got some old stamps, just some labels, some flowers cut out of pretty paper, bits of lace, rick-rack. You want to start looking in your stash for that kind of stuff, or go to thrift shops or antique shops and do some antiquing. I'm going to show you what I found. And also you may want to get you some washi tape. This all came unrolled. Love this gold, but this is so pretty. So washi tape is great to add in. You're going to want some of that. Of course you want ribbon, right? Everybody wants ribbon and laces. So like I have this book that I found at the antique shop. I have bits of old fabric like I just showed you. This was cut from an old, very worn dress. This is some trim. I have different trims. I have the string. This is the larger cotton twill string. I've got laces, and of course I've got more of the seam binding ribbon. You can order that from Country Craft Creations. Also from Country Craft Creations, you're going to want to check out for this cotton lace. So this is very good. If you don't have any old vintage lace, you can buy the laces from Country Craft Creations. You can even put some tea stain on it and make it look old. So you want some laces. When I was at the antique mall, I found this bag of floss embroidery thread. So I bought it. It was only like maybe $3 or something. And I thought those are pretty colors. That can be used on tags. So you want to pick some of that up. You can get it at the craft store. But I thought, hey, that was kind of cool that it was all in one bag. Got this pretty tag on it. It's the same place where I bought the key. They're booths. They're different dealers in this antique shopping mall. It's a lot of fun. I love to go there and see what all's new. So I think I shared earlier, I had these music pages. I'm going to make copies of some of those. I have my extra tea dye paper. And you're going to want little bits of fabric, like from old dresses or things. I love pieces of fabric that have a button attached. So we're going to make some little paper clip holders. You can make pockets out of your bits of fabric that has some pretty stitching on it. We got that. I like to go and look for packages of ephemera or junk mail, or save your own junk mail. But if you find something and maybe there's some of it you don't like at all, but if you get it for like $3 or $4, and you get 5 or 6 pieces in it that are good to use. Like, I love this with the birds in it. See how pretty that's on a page. Then it's well worth it. Like, I love these with the handwriting. Probably copy that. I love this page. George Darling Nancy said, this is just like old times, isn't it? So you can tear it and put that in. So you want some music. I have some old cards and photos. I love photos. If you can find some old photos, like this one was at the antique mall. I think it was $1. So you can add that in. You can make copies of it if you want to use it again. You don't want to use it all in just one. You know, I would paper clip that in somewhere, like with that paper clip in with my page, like that. Ticket stubs, got the pages, some journaling pages. Like, this is all cut up. I can photocopy these and use them again. So you just want to look for lots of different things. I have these that are really old that I found, and I did spend more money probably on these, but I love this is from Germany, and it's written in German. Isn't that gorgeous? I will definitely copy that. And this is a letter to someone in Fort Worth, Texas, back in looks like I can't read it. It's like, couldn't be 1884. I don't know. From it's a letter. This is really cool. And so the letters in there, I'm definitely going to photocopy that. So I did pay a little extra for some things because I like it, and I can see that I am going to use it more than once. I'm not going to use the original. I probably will photocopy it. So look in your old family heritage stuff. You may find some family records and things like this old deed of trust. So that's going to be cool. Other bits that I found at my antiquing adventures last weekend, I found some little cards. These will be tuck things into pockets. Little calling cards. That's got writing on it. Some more photos. Some old postcards. This is a sewing machine card. Love that photo. So just look for different things when you're out and about. Grab you some glassine bags, or hang on to some glassine bags. There's another one there that I just love. And keep some of your stuff inside of your glassine bags. I'll take the tape off of this one. I don't want it messing it up. Because you can use the bags, but you can also use them to organize some of your stuff. So like maybe you've got some old receipts, you know, if you can even fill in, we can stamp on it. Playing cards. I got these playing cards. I thought they were so pretty with the flowers on there. They look like seed packets. So start collecting odds and ends. It's a junk journal, so you're going to put things that might normally be trash. I mean, like, you're going to want maybe to save some ticket stubs. This is an old ticket, some old layaway cards. And this was something that I ordered. I've had a while. I ordered it. I haven't had it a while, I don't think. Maybe I just got these. These are really cool. These are stitched, and I'm going to tell you, you can make these yourself. So, like, take some of the tea-dyed paper, and if you have a sewing machine that does stitching, do some stitching. These were all done in black thread, like the zigzag. Do some of these. Get these ready. These make great tabs. Like, you could put a tab like that. Just glue that on there. And these are awesome. So I did order these from somewhere, but you don't have to. You can make these yourself. Just use, take a sheet of your tea-dyed paper. It's a single sheet. Do all your stitching with your sewing machine. I could do this, then cut them in, or cut and tear them into squares. So that's a lot of fun. This is some more old forms. So yeah, you get the idea of what you need. Old lace, cut off a dress This is pretty. You know, you can go to garage sales and find a lot of stuff. These I got at the antique mall the other day. These are little handkerchiefs. Aren't they beautiful with the lace trim? I love this one. I don't know if that would work on the cover. So we're going to have lots of fun planning. I think this would work if I had another solid piece underneath, or cut this somehow. I can't wait to start decorating, and I hope you'll join me. So that's it for today. Be sure and check out countrycraftcreations.com for like seam binding, some of the laces that you're going to need, the pretty papers. Look at your ephemera that's available from the store, with different paper collections like the vintage weathered garden, like maybe some die cuts and things that you can add in with your vintage stuff. And remember, in the spring, I'm excited, we'll be looking for a junk journaling kits from Country Craft Creations. So for now, that is the cover. This is a single signature junk journal, so it's not really thick. You could make several of these. So you could make several of these junk journal books or booklets, if you want to call them that have a single signature. And you could decorate them all up and keep them flat and then stack them together and then bind them with pretty ribbons or string. That way you don't have a really big, thick book at once, but you have one that's manageable. So I think that would be fun. Anyway, so that's this one made with your cover made with your file folders. Next week, or as soon as I get my papers in, we may start decorating. So I'm shooting for next week, maybe sooner. I do want to finish a couple of small Valentine projects and maybe start something else with some of the things that I wanted to do for January, like Love is in the Air folio, card folio, and then maybe some of the other papers. And I'm also waiting on a pre-made album to come in from Country Craft Creations that they're going to be putting in the store. And Here Comes the Bride. So I'll be starting on a wedding project too. Busy, lots of things going on. And of course, it's January, and in our business, our home office for our construction business, I got files to clean out. I took some, and these are papers that I can't use in junk journaling. What a shame. But they have people's info on them, so customers, I have to shred it. So I got the award for the most poundage of paper to be shredded at the UPS store. It's 197 pounds. I hadn't done it in a couple of years, so yeah, that was a lot of paper, but I'm glad to see it's gone. So I'm now organizing some files, so I'm busy with that in the office. But yeah, I want to play with stuff. I'd much rather be playing here in the craft room with y'all. So make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I've explained to someone on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations. It's really easy. Down below, near the description box, there's I think it's usually red. It says subscribe. Click on that. When you click on it, you automatically are subscribed. And then next to that, the word will turn and say subscribed. And next to that is a little picture of a bell. And you click on the bell and then click on all, and you will get notification of all of my videos every time I upload one, so you won't miss anything. And you can do that for every channel that you want to follow. And so do that with all the Country Craft Creation designers, and you're going to have lots of fun things, tutorials to work with. So anyway, thanks again. Check out countrycraftcreations.com, and I'll see you in a few days with part 3 of our junk journal journey. Thanks. Bye-bye.